everyone, welcome to the podcast. We're having the Interns Connect podcast, and today we have an amazing guest, Ximena. Ximena is an MBA candidate in Michigan Ross. It's given an opportunity having her here for she to come share her journey, share her experience navigating the MBA, and also, the application phase. Ximena is also an international student, right?
Yes.
Hi, Ximena. How are you doing?
Hello, Tammy. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, it's been an awesome back and forth. I know we had some difficulty having you here, but I'm happy that finally we're able to have you here. How has been your week? Today is like the last day of the week, right?
Yes. My week has been interesting. Just like working, talking to different people. Also, don't forget to have fun. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so before we start, right, can you tell me a little bit about your background? Like, what were you doing before you came for your MBA, and why did you decide that you want to pursue your MBA?
Yes, of course. Well, I really like that question because everybody's journey is so different, right? So before coming to business school, I was working in a tech manufacturing company in the telco industry, and I was doing marketing and communications related roles. And one of the reasons that I wanted to go and pursue my MBA was because I really wanted to do career enhancement. So I really enjoy marketing activities, like talking to different people, understanding what the customer really wants, and then being able to craft those campaigns that attract them. But then at the same time, from the company perspective, being able to learn from everybody's goals, like all these different stakeholders, and being able to prioritize and also influence and negotiate whether it's budget or ideas to actually bring them to life. So I wanted to go to business school to enhance my career development in terms of marketing, because there are so many layers of marketing, and also because I really wanted to break into big tech. So that was kind of like my goal.
So that means you actually move from telecommunication to like marketing.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. People advance to MBA from different sectors. Like me, my first degree was in engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, and now I am doing business. So people go from healthcare, people go from investment banking, people like different sectors, right? It's actually cool. So when actually would you say you started looking, or you started applying for your internship, and which industries were you looking at for? Because since you say you mentioned you wanted to go into marketing, did you focus only on marketing? Like you didn't apply to like investment, consulting? Because I know a lot of MBAs too, they do consulting.
Yeah, well, before coming to business school, I knew that my plan A was to do a PMM role for a tech industry. So I was really lucky and grateful to land kind of my dream internship. That was my plan A. But as always, they will recommend you like, okay, what's your plan B?
What's plan B and plan C?
And plan D, E, F. But
I know, right?
I was thinking, okay, what would be like? I think I could do marketing in any other industry, whether it's like retail or CPG. But as an international student, you also need to see what are the industries, what they can offer you that opportunity.
And also visa sponsorship too.
Exactly. And so one of the industries that does that is, of course, technology. And then the other one is consulting.
Obviously.
So I kind of like started my, I would say, recruiting process just like 1 week after I got to business school, and I started last week of August. So it was pretty early, just like crafting your resume and like how, I'm from Lima, Peru. So there was also this big cultural change. How this actually recruiting and networking works in the US. And exactly, completely different. So it was like all these different components on the equation. So I kind of like focus on recruiting for PMM in tech, but then at the same time, I feel like preparing yourself for cases in consulting, it's like it's very, very let's say like comprehensive, very holistic, and it helps you to train that communication muscle and how to explain your ideas. So that I do believe it helped me also for my tech recruiting, like casing with some friends that they were recruiting for, actively recruiting for consulting.
Okay, that makes sense. So during the start of your application phase, right? What resources or platforms, or maybe what actually did you use? Because I know then you say you're like applying for preparing your resume, your cover letters. Did you get support? Did you get people that helped you? Like, what exactly helped you in that preparation application phase?
Yeah, well, I would say one thing that does my school, like in Michigan, like the second year, there are these like peer coaches program. So they will pair you up to an MBA too, which is a second year, and you'll be in these small groups with 3 or 4 more MBA ones, which we were
so that means one peer coach for like 2 or 3 or 4 and fourth year.
Exactly. So there's like dedicated groups, and you start meeting them weekly, and they will take a look, like they will double click on your resume, they will double click on what are your interests and what's the experience you have. And so I leverage that resource a lot. Like I rely a lot.
So just a follow-up question. Is it like this peer coach, is this someone in the same niche that you're looking for? Like, for instance, now you're in PMM, the person has to be in PMM, not like the person has to be in consulting. It has to be like,
exactly.
Okay, makes sense.
It's aligned with the career you like, the
career path,
the career path. Exactly. Yeah. So it's basically somebody who has been on your shoes. Not that long ago. Obviously. So they will walk you through their journey. Okay. I think that resource was super valuable. Also, because I didn't know that much about the tech industry, like I was recommended to start looking at listening to some podcast about like news, to learn a little bit how the tech space it's evolving, and also like we had the clubs. We had the clubs at the school, like the professional clubs, and they will help us also, like, okay, how to practice for a case interview, if it's like PMM or PM, like tech related roles. So that kind of like those were like the main resources that I use. And probably one that I used a lot, it was like reaching out to the second years that were there, because they were on the exact same path as I was going through not that long ago. So doing that helped me to see what other resources they use. Like they will take a look to my resume or some podcast or some news channel. So yeah.
All right. So when did you apply? Like, right, you started in August, right? When the time you started, you applied to Microsoft, obviously. When did you apply, and how many applications did you do? As an international student, they used to tell us, cast your wide net. You don't know, like, how many applications realistically did you say you did, and did you use any, like, what softwares or what platforms did you do your application on? Was it on LinkedIn, or did you have a special, network?
No, I think so. To answer the first part of your question, I think I did over between 20 to 30 applications, maybe 30. And most of them were, so there's this career development office website that at school, when they post all the job roles, but they will redirect you to the main page of the company.
Yeah, but what they're doing is that they're just bringing it to
exactly,
and that is good.
Exactly. So it's like they bring it all together on one platform, but then you need to go and create your own profile on the company website. So that was basically the same step I did for every job post that I saw on this school.
So that means you didn't go directly to LinkedIn. It was from your career account. Then it takes you to, if it's LinkedIn, it takes you to LinkedIn. If it's to the career website of the company, it takes you to the career website. That's super cool.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome.
And I'll just keep a track on an Excel spreadsheet. When did I apply? And if I heard back, like I was going.
Yeah.
And to answer the second question, the second part of your question, I remember applying for the PMM role on Microsoft like last week of September. It was either last week of September or the first week of October, which was a little late because at that time I knew that Microsoft had opened the role for already like a month. And most of my friends already applied, but you need to craft the resume.
Yeah, obviously.
So it was like starting classes and moving to a different country. It was
it was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I was like, okay, I need to do this now. So my deadline was September.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay, so you've applied now. You've gotten an email. Hey, congratulations. So I mean, now we are going to shortlist here. How did you feel? One. And what did you use in preparing for the interview?
So when I received the email, it was like everything around me stopped.
Wow.
I was in a conference and I probably went through my email I'm not kidding, not every 5 minutes, every minute. I was just refreshing.
Right.
And then I saw it there.
Okay.
And everything around me just stopped.
Wow.
And I was like, embrace this feeling. You've earned it. I'm so grateful. I'm so lucky. I'm so happy.
Was Microsoft your first interview email?
It was my second.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, but it was the biggest.
Yes, no, but I mean, it was my dream interview.
Okay, so okay, very good.
Yes, and I was like, oh wow! And then the next thing I did was calling my parents.
Wow, that was huge. You called your parents in Peru?
Yeah, I called my parents. Like I remember like video calling them.
Yes, on WhatsApp.
And I was like, through WhatsApp, and I was like, I got it. And they were like, oh my God. And then I just started like crying of happiness. And I'm like, oh my God, we're so it was super it was a great day.
Yeah.
It was a great day.
I can feel it.
Yeah. Oh wait, and what was the other part of
your preparation? So you had your interview. How did you prepare for it? What did you use?
Oh, I'm so sorry. You were asking me about the interview. I told you about the offer.
No, I'm talking about the interview.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. It's still an emotional period. That's fine.
Okay. Okay. So about the interview.
Yeah.
I remember that day. It was a Tuesday.
Okay.
And I was helping some of my friends to get ready for other interviews.
Okay.
I remember, and then I finished giving one mock interview with a friend, and then I went back to my email and I saw it there. And of course, I was like, "Oh my God!" Like again, it was like a huge surprise for me. But then I was like, "Okay, now what's game plan? You know, what's next? So I need to prepare." And so at that time, one of my friends had already had an interview with Microsoft. Okay. And so I asked her, "Okay, how was your interview? What are the things that I should focus?"
Yeah, what questions did they ask and the rest?
Yes, and she was like, "Oh, focus on like." She was just telling me about how her interview went, and then I also reached out to fellow Rossers from the second year who also had their internship at Microsoft. They said they could help me a little bit for the preparation for interviews. So it was basically because it was behavioral, like learning your stories.
Yeah.
In these like star format, situation, task, action, result, and then the key learning. So it was like more like crafting my stories and just like doing a lot of mock interviews with friends.
All right, then we now go down to the expression and everything. So, but apart from Microsoft, did you get any other offers from other companies?
Yes, I did.
How many?
One more.
Okay, but then Microsoft already gone, or that was before Microsoft?
I received it before.
Okay.
Exactly one week before.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's fine. All right. So now moving forward, you're now in Microsoft and this is your 10th week?
It is. Yeah.
10th week, almost done. 2 more weeks.
I know. I'm about to start.
How has it been? How's your journey? How's your work been? How's it been being an intern in Microsoft for 10 years?
It's hard to just summarize it in one word. It's hard.
Give me a few words.
I think it's been a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
In terms of like the challenges you encounter when it comes to this whole new space, fast paced as well. And then when you start to pick it up and it's like, okay, then you can see progress and then how to actually land your ideas, but then you're surrounded with all these subject matter experts. So, and then of course there's the intern cohort, which has been amazing to share. We're kind of on the same boat, so we have like similar experiences. But it's been nothing but great. You know, like you can actually feel that competitive while at the same time being collaborative. So it's like they literally.
I don't even think that we're even competitive within ourselves because we are not trying to get the same thing. Like it's the opportunity is available for all of us.
Exactly.
Right. It's not like they tell us that, oh, out of every one of us, you just 10 persons that they need.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like it's against you and you.
Yes, exactly. It's literally an everyday battle against you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I know, and that's why I feel that the culture is good because there's more room for collaboration. Yes. Right? Because since they made it so it's you'll be able to collaborate, you'll be able to give help, you'll be able to provide support for everyone. So what has been your most rewarding experience being as an intern?
Wow. I would say, okay, so when there's like all these ideas and you are struggling how to
come up navigate ambiguity.
Yes, how to navigate ambiguity and uncertainty. And this is like my mentor. We had this one-on-one and she talked to me about this embracing these growing pains. But then when you move forward that and then you're able to land an opinion or an idea and then share it with everybody, are those 2 seconds or 3 seconds when they tell you, wow, this is great. And that gives you like the fuel to keep on going. And I think that in the end, you're still working towards, to have that feedback to keep creating and encountering those aha moments. And those are like the best moments throughout in different times. My internship that I really liked.
That's good. That's good. So let's say looking back, right, with everything you know, what is that one thing that you say that you'd have done better, or one thing that you would want to redo?
Yeah, well, the first thing that I can think of is probably because we are entering this new space, right? I mean, and it happens every time, like you start something new. Don't wait for you to feel like you know enough to start contributing, to speak up, to share your opinion. It's so hard because you're surrounded by people who know a lot.
But sometimes you feel like you don't know so much to to share.
Exactly. But now I'm determined and I want to do that. Like now that I go back to school, like even if you know 1%,
just share that 1%.
Just like share your perspective, share your opinion. Whether it's right or wrong, you do have an opinion with that 1%.
Or even if you don't know, ask questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Ask questions.
Exactly.
When you ask those questions, people will be interested. Okay, this person wants to know. They will see your interest. They will just show your interest.
Yes. And so maybe not to be afraid to share my opinions, even when I don't feel confident enough that I know enough, because you're never going to know enough.
Yeah, true.
And now I'm more self-aware of that. Wow. And that's something that I want to. And also it came up on a discussion with my mentors, which, by the way, mentors are like a great asset here at Microsoft. That's something that I'm taking with me, like to put into practice.
That's really insightful. Right. So my last question is, what advice would you give to future interns looking to work at Microsoft or maybe other tech companies and maybe international students, what advice would you give to them as they approach the phase? Because very soon, their company application is going to start. This is the month. So what's the advice would you give?
I would say would you say for the recruiting part or?
Yeah, for the applying into tech,
Okay.
Trying to apply for the application phase, right?
Yeah.
Because the application phase, then the interview phase, then so the application phase.
You know what I would say, and I think I've heard that a lot also during our internship. It's not about what you did, but it's about how you did it. And I would recommend what people right now they're starting to apply to these companies when they build this story on their resume. Yes, you have to focus on what you did, but how you did it is what matters, and how you connect each dot of the story so they can read between lines what is your attitude towards challenges rather than what you accomplish, which is that's the evidence and it's an important part. But also try to craft this story with emphasis on the how, and try to showcase that during your interview, during your story.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Anyways, I'm sad that I have to let you go. I didn't want the conversation to end. You've been giving me so much value, so much insight. I should ask more questions, but unfortunately, we have to come to an end because you have a lot of things you're preparing for. This is your 10th week, and your project is your final presentation is next week and the rest. So I have to let you go. So I want to say thank you for coming today, for making our time. I gained a lot of insight. Even me. What I mean the project, as an intern with you, I'm also learning from you. These are things that I'm going to go share back to people that ask me, to my admissions team and the rest. Thank you very much. I believe that everyone that's going to listen to today's episode is going to get so much value, and we definitely want to connect. I'm wishing you the very best in the final presentation.
Thank you.
Sit down for you, and definitely you're going to get that return offer. So thank you very much for coming.
Of course.
This is the end of today's episode. Thank you guys for joining in. Stay tuned, join for the next one so that you could get more valuable insight for MBAs and also interns sharing their successful stories. Thank you guys. Thank you.